crafty friends, it's Cassidy here with Timeless Creations by Cassidy, here with another little project share, something fun and quick to do to throw in your Happy Mail packages or maybe at a craft fair, just something really quick and easy to throw together. So to do this project, I will leave all of the supplies down in the description box below, but you will need a hole punch or one of the eyelet setters like a Crop-A-Dile, or they actually sell ones that do it for you. I don't know, but I still do it with this and a hammer. So you're going to need eyelets. And you can do any size, it's totally up to you. You're going to need, you can do plain index cards, you can do colored index cards. Again, that's up to personal preference. And then you're going to need some of these. These are cut aparts from a paper collection. One thing that you could do, you could probably do them with Project Life cards. But those are double-sided, and I wouldn't use them for that because I have trouble putting a double-sided piece of paper where you can't see the other side. So you're going to need that. You're going to need, if you're doing it the traditional way, you're going to need a hammer, and then you're going to need some type of adhesive. I like the runner adhesive for this project, so that way it doesn't get that soft kind of squishy type feel, because this is going to be something that you can write on in the future. And then the last thing you're going to need is some twine or some ribbon, whatever you want to use. So you're going to start this project. We're just going to go ahead and put all of these together. And the reason I came across this just randomly, I was doing one of my junk journals recently, and I like to have a ton of space in my journals to write. So that's kind of how I came upon it. So it's in one of my journals in a pocket. And then I'm going to trim this off because I have too much. And the reason I'm backing them on index cards is because this Project Life card alone, or not Project Life, I'm sorry, this cut apart, it's on some really thin paper. It's not cardstock, and I want it to be a little sturdier, because you could just attach all these together by themselves, but then it's not going to be that sturdy. So we're just going to keep on going through. I'm doing 7 of them. You can do however many that you want, but just keep in mind that all of these have to fit onto one eyelet to combine them. Oh man. And that one ended up crooked. That's not cool. Okay, that one's crooked, and we're just gonna go like that. I don't know, sometimes that's the only downfall about using an ATG gun, is that it's not repositionable. but that looks cute, so it's okay. I always just, my mistakes, I just make them look like they were never mistakes. All right, so now we're done with this part. So there you have your cards laid out. For this one, I am going to distress them a little bit with my distress inks to make it a little more vintage looking. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Victorian Velvet along with my vintage photo. So I'm just going to go in and do one at a time. Go ahead and distress this a little bit. Actually, I'm really liking the way this is turning out, so I actually probably will not use my vintage photo on here. And I always start off the paper and I work onto it. And you can even go a little further and you can use the Tim Holtz paper distressor or the edge of your scissors and kind of fray the sides if you want to go for a more distressed look. I just want to go for a little more color than just the plain white background. You could also attach them to coffee dyed index cards. You can attach them to a pattern cardstock cut into 3x5 rectangles to make it look like an index card. So there's tons of different options and you can play with the idea however which way you want. That's my last one. We're just going to distress them up. I'm really liking the way this is turning out. I'm probably going to add this to that same journal I was telling you guys about. All right, so we're done with that. All right. All right. So your next step is going to be to get our holes in here. So you want to make sure all of them are the correct way, if they're directional. Now, keep in mind, you want to put together either all of them going this direction or all of them going this direction. Otherwise, it's gonna not look right. So keep that in mind when you're picking out the cards that you want to use. So if you have them in this direction, you're going to poke a hole here and here. But all of mine go this direction, so I'm going to do here and here. And to get them all in the same exact spot, I am going to take two of them, put them down, and then I'm going to come in and punch my hole. Like that. Now, to make sure that all of my cards have them in the same exact spot, I'm going to do that with each and every one of them. You could probably punch more than one at a time. I can do up to 3 with this particular hole punch without them getting messed up. No, wrong way. There we go. You gotta make sure that you tap them the same way each time. Otherwise your holes are not going to line up. And then you want to make sure that you put them in the order that you want them. If there's a special order, or you just go ahead and put them all together. All right. So I think for this one, I want to make that my cover. All right. So now that you have your index cards all laid out, you're going to go and you're going to grab your eyelets. All right. Alright, and then you put that in like so. I do very poorly with little items. I always drop them and do all kinds of crazy stuff with them. Alright. So there, your book is completely put together like that. And then you're going to go ahead and grab your twine. And like I said, this part is optional. You don't have to do it. I'm just doing it because I like the added dimension and just the kind of finished product look. Especially if you're going to take these out to a craft fair and you want to use them there. So now, I don't know if you guys know this, but to get a perfect bow that lays across this way, you want to make sure that you do your right over your left. If you do your left over your right, which most people do, your bow is going to sit vertical instead of horizontal. So you want to do right over left, like so. And then you're going to do your bow, like so. And then what I like to do with mine, I have to make sure that these are the same size. So I'm just going to trim it. And then I'm going to place a small dot of hot glue right on the top here so that I can put my ribbon right on it to make sure that it stays in place. Alright, and that is my finished product. It took 15 minutes to do the video and all of the pages put together, so it's really that simple. The one that I made yesterday, I will go ahead and show you that one real quick, just so you can get a better idea of how I did it the first time. There we go. So this one, as you can see, I did not distress the edges. I just simply put it together. And this one I have 1, 6, 7, 4. So here I have 10. And this was almost too big. So you don't want to get this many in here because the eyelets almost didn't fit for this one. So this worked perfectly. So I think 7 or 8 is the perfect number for this. So yeah, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, thanks for watching my channel, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Please feel free to share this with all of your friends, and we will see you next time. Happy crafting. Bye.